What is up, everybody? It is Friday, July 8th, 2022 AD. Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. I learned it as Anno Domini, but it is the year of our Lord. And it's 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And we're going to have a fun loosey-goosey Friday show. Indeed. I think you will like it. Maybe. More Vollmar to play for you. You know, it is White History Month. Happy White History Month, everybody. White History Month is for everyone. Okay? Everyone should love white people. If you should love anyone, you should love white people. I'm going to talk about my upcoming appearance. That's today on Modern Day Debate. Pray for Derek Chauvin. Some Drudge headlines for you guys. Shinzo Abe got assassinated. And it's terrible. It is terrible. So, and I will be taking your calls if you would like to call in. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this AJ Gallardo original theme song of the Hake Report played on Fridays. Very cool. You can call in and we'll have fun.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. I am wearing one of my King of the Cage t-shirts. That's right, I'm a cage fighter and you didn't know it. King of the Cage. See that guy holding up the crown? Because he's a king. With a shield. Black. It's a black t-shirt and it has an arm sleeve thing. I need to fill it out a little bit more. I skip arm day according to Misty and she's correct. Nothing on this arm. But anyway. Last night I met a champion of King of the Cage, by the way. And I went to high school with a King of the Cage champ as well. Daniel El Leon Hernandez. El Leon, I think is what his nickname was. And I watched him fight a couple of times. That's how I got this stuff. At Soboba Casino. You know, I like to support my friends and classmates and teammates. I was on wrestling team with him. He was like his talented CIF level, state level wrestling hot shot. And I was just a freshman trying out wrestling. It was fun. I liked it. But I was more of a runner. I never got cauliflower ear. No siree, Bob. Nor did I ever get ringworm. Don't get ringworm, guys. Just wash yourself. Or whatever. But I was more into running, and I did running and whatever. But I liked it. I was pretty good at it, I think. In my memory, in my mind, I was good. The older I get, the better I was. Excellent men's forum, by the way, last night. Shout out to the men. Men's forums are first Thursday of the month, and they are always a highlight. And thank you, Jesse Lee Peterson and Nicolas, host of the Nick stream, for an excellent Jesse Lee Peterson show. I'm on his network, both of their network. Nick stream is going to be live tomorrow, I believe, Saturday. Normally, oftentimes, he's live Friday, 4 p.m., but Probably Saturday is what I hear. And you know what's going to happen Friday, though? If you are missing Nick's stream, and you're like, oh, I miss Nick's stream. On this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time, Hake, as in James Hake, as in me, yours truly, or am I yours? Nah. I'm going to be on Modern Day Debate again. It's been like a month since I have made any appearance on any show or been interviewed or appeared on any debates. Look at me. I'm in the middle of this little thumbnail here, courtesy of Modern Day Debate. What you see here is Stardust, whom I've debated about another topic on Modern Day Debate. Hunter Avallone, whom I have debated a couple of times now. He used to be a conservative, now he's a liberal. Hake, that's me. And then the cartoon-looking guy, that's Alex Stein, Primetime Stein 99. He's on my team, I guess. And then, of course, Brittany of Politically Provoked. She's on Cozy. They're on Cozy, I mean. She and her other Politically Provoked co-hosts, I guess. And then there's another guy named Radical Coder who's on the liberal side. Is there a war on men? Is the name of this debate that is happening tonight. Modern Day Debate. YouTube.com/Modern Day Debate. And if you're not sure how to find it, you can go to thehakereport.com/appearances. Thehakereport.com/appearances. All right? So that would be fun. That should be fun. My last appearance was over in, remember that New Zealand guy who interviewed me? Pat Brittenden? Brittenden. I was interviewed after I trash-talked hard Jacinda Ardern, the female prime minister of how embarrassing, right? Of New Zealand. Those Kiwis, they got no sense. She's like my age, roughly. Had a child while in office. How embarrassing. Oh my gosh. And she doesn't even live with, she's not even married to her boyfriend or partner. Maybe he's her fiance. Maybe they're married by now. But, Brittenden. And so that should be fun. It's been a little while. It's been a nice break, honestly. I got sick, took care of my teeth. Well, I'm still taking care of my teeth. Or I'm having somebody take care of my teeth. Very expensive, by the way. But it's okay. I can handle it. Got sunburnt, got itchy from the sunburnt. So it's been kind of a good thing. I did get some invites, but I wasn't able to make it. So very nice. The war on men. I've talked about the war on men in debates on Modern Day Debate twice before this. I talked with Brenton Langle on Modern Day Debate the first time, and I also talked with Hunter Avallone's wife, Carissa Avallone. Shout out on Modern Day Debate about the war on men. And there are many examples. Gossip, slander, Me Too movement, abortion, pot, the promotion of pot, right? The promotion of alcohol. Did you know that beer is estrogenic? All this sex and pornography and simping. And she's the boss. And just female-minded anger and malice and self-righteousness. It's all part of the war on men. And it started in the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? Satan used the woman, lied to the woman, and she had the man following her, doing after what she did instead of the other way around. What a shame. Yeah, IPA specifically is estrogenic. Those hops, right? And plus, it just makes you fat and dull and it's not that good for you. I don't know that it's good for you at all. Same with pot, for the most part. Absolute Death says, you know what else is estrogenic? Being extremely skinny. Yeah, you increase your testosterone, I heard from one of my callers whom I banned, by exercising rigorously, working out, lifting weights or, exercising in general. rigorous exercise, manly exercise, and also sleeping, at least according to what I read on the internet. Resting is good for your T, for the men. You increase your T. You get low T from not resting enough, sleeping properly. So that's part of the war on men, right? These cell phones and distractions and all that stuff. And it's a war on children, undermining the children. It's disgusting. Brainwashing the children, turning them into dumb liberals or LGBT activists or anti-racists. How much more female-minded can you get than what we have today? I guess we can get even further off the deep end, female-minded. But it's not good for anybody. And so I'm looking forward to this debate. Friday, July 8th, 2022 AD, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Modern Day Debate YouTube channel. They're also on Twitch. I don't know if he'll be streaming on Twitch. And he tweeted about it. Modern Day Debate on Twitter. You can support him on Patreon if you like. It's also on an audio podcast. All the major audio podcast platforms, including Apple and Spotify and the rest. Modern Day Debate. Nice guy. Great guy. Anyway, you know what? Let's start right off with a somber white history moment, okay? You know, I often have said over time, pray for Derek Chauvin, pray for the persecuted whites. You know, like, who's that guy? Who are those guys down in Georgia who killed blah, 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 Ahmaud Arbery? The McMichaels, Travis McMichael, the son, who was a military police trainer or something like that, and the retired detective, George McMichael? I forget. Travis McMichael and his dad, right? And then there was, not George Michael. I'm blanking on his name, but pray for the McMichaels and that Roddy Daniel, who recorded the self-defense killing of Ahmaud Arbery. I know that you people like to say, oh, you don't get to cry self-defense when you set up the situation. But I mean, honestly, he set up the situation too. Maybe it was an illegitimate attempt at a citizen's arrest, but honestly, those men were looking out for their town. It was ill-advised in hindsight, and many of us maybe would have advised them not to do it even in foresight. Not to go after this jogger who was acting suspicious and acting erratic and grabbing at the shotgun of Travis McMichael when they were trying to conduct that citizen's arrest, hold him until police could arrive and sort out what's going on. Technically, people say they're supposed to have witnessed him commit a felony. They had reasonable suspicion. I'm chuckling about the George Michael thing. What a mess. Ouch. No offense, sirs. But those guys are getting life in prison. And I say it's a kangaroo court because Ahmaud Arbery was black. And he honestly brought it on himself. A lot of times the blacks act erratic. They're angry and out of control. And you can't reason with them. You can't tell them to act reasonably. You can't even expect them to act reasonably. So, and nowadays the kangaroo courts and the court of so-called public opinion, which is no court whatsoever, it's just a lynch mob, spiritual lynch mob. They are hate-filled people who've already committed murder against these white males in their heart. And they have no love for Ahmaud or his so-called family either. Same thing, too, with Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin yesterday was sentenced to another 21 years, or maybe it was concurrent, but it doesn't matter. I heard this on, I saw this on, you know, one of my favorite news sources is TKR Official on Telegram. That's Asmodor's channel. I've been on his show a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Derek Chauvin sentenced to 20 years, I think it was 21 years, for quote-unquote violating Georgia, Florida's civil rights. Look at this man, 40-something years old, been run through the mud, dragged through the mud and worse. Dragged through kangaroo court on multiple levels. The state attorney general, may I remind you, is a Muslim SJW Antifa supporter, Black Lives Matter idiot supporter. Sorry, kids. Who was in court. He's the one who should be going to jail, honestly. What's that guy's name? Keith Ellison? This is not justice. It's a lynch mob. They're like, oh, look at that racist knee. Zero evidence of quote-unquote racism. It's just a slur upon the whites. Yeah, he was carrying... He did a selfie with an Antifa book. He's like, this should strike fear into the heart of our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. And that guy's allowed to be a Congress male. He swore his oath to the Constitution on a Quran. A Quran. Some people like to call it Quran. But I call it a Quran because we're American. But this guy is not a good person. He's a light-skinned, black, anti-white radical. And he thinks, oh, Christianity is the religion of slavery for the whites. I mean, for the blacks. But that's dumb because these people rename themselves and turn Muslim. And Muslim is pro-slavery too. And the Muslims, allegedly, what I've heard, they castrate their slaves so they don't even have a legacy of slavery. Or, they don't have a legacy of, descendants of slavery because they castrate them. That's what I heard. But anyway, so wrong. And Keith Ellison's son is also an Antifa supporter who's like an alderman or something like that over in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Derek Chauvin was kangaroo court lynched. Not killed, not tortured physically, and hopefully he'll be safe. But anyway, pray for him. Pray for those persecuted whites on this somber moment in White History Month. As Medor pointed out, I was chatting over there on TKR Official on Telegram. JLP Talk is on Telegram too. The Hake Report is on Telegram as well. Real Vincent James, I think, is on... Well, I know that I think it's Real Vincent James on Telegram. Those are my, 4 favorites. They're my top 5. But, brutal. So wrong, But Chin Up King, even in slavery, even in false imprisonment, even in persecution, kangaroo courts, injustice, you can have a good life and be better, not bitter. So don't be feeling sorry for them. These guys who are suffering this injustice, don't be all identifying with them, but do, have a pause and have a nice moment considering in love for everybody. Something like that, right? Seems like that would be appropriate. Derek Chauvin. His Asian wife divorced him the day before he got arrested. Terrible. So wrong. Lots of evil happen in the world. Shinzo Abe, I'm gonna cover it briefly for you guys. He got assassinated. But first, let me get to a caller or two, guys. You can call in 888-775-3773. And if I think of anything else to say for these guys who are being persecuted and maligned, these cops and whites, then I may elaborate more. But yes, Chin Up King. And ladies, don't worry your pretty little heads. And men, obviously, do not worry either. Jesus said it. It's a fact. Don't worry. I guess it's not a fact. It's just a proper command. But Alex, first-time caller in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine as well, thank you. What's up?
Yes, I have a question for you. Do you support Black Lives Matter?
No, I do not. Is that a joke?
Why not? No, that's a serious question.
Why? Do you support Black Lives Matter?
Yes.
Really? You want to know why I don't support it?
Yes, why?
Because Black Lives Matter is a slap in the face to sensible blacks and to all whites and to everybody decent. It's dumb.
You know why I think it that way?
Say that again?
You know why you think that way?
Why do I think that way in your mind?
Because you're racist, that's why.
Racist? You mean honest and based in like common sense? Is that what you mean by racist?
No, I have seen your videos, a lot of your videos, and you have said a lot of bad stuff about black people. You are very, very racist, man.
No, but saying bad stuff about black people is good if it's true. You want to tell the truth and not lie about pretend that blacks are good when they're where they're not good.
I haven't heard you saying George Floyd was a thug.
I might have said that, and he kind of was.
No, he was a victim. A racist cop killed him.
How do you know he was? In what way was that cop racist?
Because he was on his neck for 10 minutes, straight up 10 minutes.
You have to hold him down somehow. How is that racist?
Well, I should have given him a chance,
Giving him a chance to get away or what?
No, to just relax and get arrested.
He tried to give him a chance to relax inside the vehicle, but he's all, let me out of the vehicle. Let me down on the ground.
No, there was no time.
There was plenty of time, man. This guy resisted arrest for several minutes. Did you see the whole video?
Yeah, I seen the whole video.
And you saw him resisting arrest for several minutes?
No, really, no. He wasn't resisting. He was just trying to save his life.
No, he was resisting arrest, man. He was, did you see him get put in the vehicle and then say, oh, let me out?
Yes.
And so then you know that he was acting erratic and overdosing. How is that racist, man? The heck? What's race? What is racism in your mind? When a white does something to a black, is it automatically racist?
Well, black people cannot be racist. Only white people can be racist,
Are you serious? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 23. I'm serious, man.
You're 23?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I respect that. You're a Zoomer.
Yes.
And you're Hispanic. You're Hispanic. What? You're Hispanic. Why are you kissing up to the blacks? Hispanics don't like blacks?
Yeah, they do. That's a lie.
No, they do not. I mean, they like the music. No. They like the rap music. And then they like certain blacks who get along with them. But on the whole, Hispanics are more, quote-unquote, racist than anybody besides blacks. Blacks are the most, quote-unquote, racist, and then Hispanics are second. Maybe tied with the Asians. Whites are the least racist. Did you know that?
Who?
White people are the least racist.
No, sir, that's not true.
Blacks are the most racist, and then Hispanics are second most. That's why Hispanics are the second most violent, next to the blacks.
That's not true, man. Black people cannot be racist, and white people are the most racist people on the planet.
That's dumb. You're ignorant.
How?
How? Whites are the most accepting of all the races. Too accepting.
But, deep down, black people cannot be racist. They have no power. How can they be racist?
They have plenty of power. They have the power to kill, and they kill more whites than whites kill blacks, even though they're a fifth of the population.
Where is your proof black people killing white people?
Check the FBI homicide stats if you need proof. You're not aware of that?
No, I haven't seen any black person killing white people. But
that's because because you're a mainstream media sucker. You only watch the mainstream media, apparently.
I watch CNN.
Yeah, exactly. I watch CNN too, but I don't watch it. I read it every morning. But I had to look on the actual criminal victimization surveys to see violent black on white crime was way out of proportion. So as far as racism goes, in terms of interracial violent crime, blacks are like head and shoulders above everybody else, and then Hispanics are second. It's a distant second, but they're the second.
But you're not telling me, though, how black people are killing white people. Where is the proof? There's
With
no
guns, with their hands, and I told you where the proof is. I told you where to find it.
But how about the white mass shooters that are killing black people in group?
Right. Occasionally the whites will lash back out. That's wrong.
Oh, my God. You're lying, man. Like, I don't know.
I'm not lying. Where am I lying? The heck?
No, you're lying.
You're lying.
You're
ignorant.
Saying something. You're saying something that doesn't exist.
No, you're saying something that doesn't exist.
I haven't heard you.
And racism doesn't even exist.
What?
Racism doesn't even exist. You're just accusing people of being wrong for being something that they're just, they have the total right to do, which is have a preference.
Are you joking or what?
I'm dead serious, man.
Racism doesn't exist?
Right. So when I said the blacks and Hispanics are quote unquote racist, I just mean that you people are into your shallow physical identity because you don't have a real identity in, your parents, decent parents, together families, God. You don't believe in God. I mean, you pretend to believe in God, but it's not you personally, but a lot of people pretend. Well, Hispanics and blacks pretend to be Christians, but they just hate white people. They're brainwashed to hate white people and hate one another and be all identify with their Latino-ness or Mexicanity or blackness or Israelite-ness. They're blind. They're lost in a false identity, and they show preferential treatment to their own kind, even though they don't even get along with their own kind, not even their own families, if they even have families.
But like, how can you say racism doesn't exist when black people have been suffering due to racism like for hundreds of years, man?
Blacks haven't been suffering due to racism for hundreds of years. Nobody even lives hundreds of years for the most part.
You don't know slavery, you don't know Jim Crow, you don't know that.
Those weren't racist, though.
Jim Crow was racist.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
No, it showed... Jim Crow may have showed a preference for a race, but that's not racist. It's just how you deal with society. And it may be preferable to what we have today. We have worse than Jim Crow today.
But, like, I feel like the water fountain, what he says, for whites only,
right.
No colors.
What's so bad about that? What's so bad about that?
You don't think that's racism?
No, I mean, who cares?
What do you mean, man? Like, white people
What's so bad about that?
What's so bad about that?
Yeah, separate water fountains. So what's so bad about that?
Yes, white people can drink clean water, and black people were drinking dirty water.
I don't know if that. I don't think that they used that. I don't think they specifically made the black water dirty. It's just it wasn't as fancy of a drinking fountain, according to one propaganda photo. But I think the water was clean enough, man. What the heck? You're adding to it. You're making stuff up.
No, I seen somebody even saying on CNN that the water was dirty, and yes, they're right. The water was dirty. If it was clean, then like there would only be one water fountain.
No, man, that's silly. Why would you spend all the time to make separate pipes to make one pipe dirtier? That's ridiculous. That's silly, man.
I never been there. That's what they said. But
right. Tap water is tap water, and tap water was better back then. They didn't put all the chemicals in the water.
Police brutality exists?
Blanking frogs gay. Say again?
Do you believe police brutality exists?
No, of course not.
Like, what's wrong with you, man? Like,
I get that. Well, okay. I accept that sometimes cops may exercise excessive force, especially nowadays with the public being so brutal and out of control. Have you noticed how brutal some of the black crime is? The black criminals? Some of those black criminals can be brutal. Have you ever heard of black brutality?
No, there's no such thing as a black brutality.
Yeah, there
Come
is,
on,
man. How about Hispanic brutality? Those Mexican gangs, those
No.
cartels. Those are brutal.
That's in Mexico, not over here.
No, it's over here too. There's people being beheaded and chopped up, and their body parts being found in the mountains. It's crazy. It's out of control, man. And
How
then,
about what?
and then, you ever heard of ISIS? ISIS brutality?
The Muslim?
Yeah, the Muslim radicals, or so-called radicals. The Muslim terrorists. Those are pretty brutal, right?
Well, yes, they hang gay people and stuff, but that's not.
And those, no, I'm talking about like beheadings, public beheadings, chopping people up, slicing their throat. Those guys got their inspiration from the Mexican drug cartels.
Well, that's not happening in America.
Yeah, it is. It's happening in America, man.
Where?
Here in California, especially. Also Arizona.
I live in Oklahoma.
Huh? What?
I live in Oklahoma, and there's nothing happening like that.
You don't know that. You're ignorant.
Listen, how am I ignorant? You're not telling me how am I ignorant, man. Come on, man.
Because you're watching are you trolling me right now?
No, you trolling me. You're saying police brutality don't exist.
Right.
You're saying racism doesn't exist.
Right.
Like, what's wrong with you? What's going on in your head, man?
I'm just looking at reality and interpreting reality my way.
So white racist police officers killing black people is not police brutality?
Name one white racist police officer.
Jacob Blake. Remember that was shot like 20 times, I think, or sometimes like that.
Oh, Jacob Blake. He was the one in Kenosha, right?
Right. He was he's now paralyzed.
That wasn't a white race, and he lived, by the way. He was. I don't envy Jacob Blake, but he got himself in trouble. He was resisting arrest. A taser did not work. At one point, he had a cop in a headlock. He was there trying to get his sons back from the baby mama or something, and the black females called the cops on him, or maybe he was breaking up a fight. But he had a warrant for his arrest for so-called domestic violence. You know, it's a war on men. But he was fighting with the cops, and then he went for a knife. The cops are like, put the knife down, put the knife down. He didn't put it down, so they shot him in the side as well as the back because he wasn't putting the knife down. He was acting erratic. He did not comply with the police. There's no racism in that whatsoever. You're just profiling the cops because you're brainwashed to be suspicious of white people and police. You follow that? Hello? Are you here legally?
Huh?
Are you here legally? Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, are you here legally or are you illegal?
What? Why do you ask that?
Because you're Hispanic, and a lot of Hispanics are illegal.
Man, what's wrong with you? Why is so wrong?
And you have a pretty thick accent. It's okay.
So, do you like Mexicans?
I like the Mexican people.
How about black people?
Yes, I love black people. They're very entertaining, and some of them are sensible even. And even some of the... I have some illegal friends who are sensible, by the way. Or one. Two. Are you illegal, though? Answer my question, if you don't mind. If you're not...
I am legal.
You're legal. Are you an anchor baby?
Yes, sir. No, I'm legal. I have the citizenship.
Right. You're an anchor baby?
No, I came here when I was 16.
Oh, you came at 16, and between 16 and 22, you got your citizenship by way of naturalization?
Yes.
Wow. But it's a shame that you're so brainwashed if you're actually telling me the truth about how you think. That you you come here, you become a so-called citizen, and then you turn around and hate white people and white cops and call them racist for doing their jobs.
But listen, I like America. You know, I like the place. You know, I
Right.
make a lot of money, but I don't like the white people. The white people are against us, man. They're not good, man.
That's not true. That's silly.
Yeah.
You're against the whites. What's the difference? Why do you hold that against the whites if you're against them? Why should they be for you?
I'm not shooting white people. I'm not harassing white people.
No white is shooting or harassing you either. Or am I wrong?
Yes, there are some white people. When I go to a store to buy something,
yeah.
Then when they hear my accent, I feel like they give me a weird vibe.
But isn't that understandable because you don't have an American accent? Why not?
But they should be fine with it,
Why? Why should they be fine with it?
Because I'm a citizen. I'm a working citizen. I pay my taxi. I pay everything,
I know, but then you listen to CNN and then you believe the mess about whites, and then you're holding it against whites if they give you a weird look. Why not just be gracious toward the whites who may give you a weird look? Let them give you a weird look. Be nice. You treat others how you want to be treated. Don't be holding it against them.
I'm not talking about all white people. I'm just talking about the white supremacy. The supremacists.
No such thing, man. Are you a Mexican supremacist?
Oh no, I'm just a Mexican. No.
But you're not Mexican. I thought you were American.
Oh well, I have a citizenship.
You have dual
I'm originally
citizenship?
from Mexico. Huh?
You have dual citizenship?
No, only American citizenship.
Okay, then renounce your Mexicanity.
What the hell? What do you mean?
Heck. Say heck. I'm just...
Listen.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
Do you love white people?
Huh?
Do you love white people? Do you like them?
Oh, no. No.
Why
Only
not?
black people and Mexican people and some other people.
Oh, okay. What a mess. Well, I appreciate talking with you, Alex. Go ahead.
Let me ask one question.
Okay.
Do you believe white supremacy exists?
No.
Supremacism?
Nope.
No?
Nah.
Well, all the right-wing people are white supremacists. What do you think about that?
All the what?
The right-wing.
The right-wing people are white supremacists?
Yes, they don't like black people. They want to hang black people. They don't like the Mexicans. They call them illegal aliens. What do you think?
That's what they are. A lot of Hispanics and Mexicans are illegal aliens. It's what they are.
Well, we're trying to come here and make it here. We just need some help. We're not aliens. We are human beings, man.
I know, but you're alien to our. You have alien values. You don't have American values of freedom of speech, love for everybody, including the whites, love for the police, love for rule of law. So that's alien. And then you're foreigners. Foreigner means alien. Alien means foreigner. Duh.
Well, foreigner is foreigner is good, a good word. But alien is no good. I should just be called an immigrant or a foreigner, not alien.
Yeah, but you can be called an alien. This is America, and it's an accurate word, man. Don't be such a woman.
Wow. I mean, you sound like a Trump supporter.
Thank you.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, indeed, I do. I appreciate it, Alex. Man. I got to run. Call me again sometime if you like.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. Take care. What a mess. Okay, before I get back to calls, I got to read this information about Shinzo Abe. Real Donald Trump tweeted last night, absolutely devastating news. Former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan, a truly great man and leader, has been shot, and at that point he was in very serious condition. He was a true friend of mine and, much more importantly, America. This is a tremendous blow to the wonderful people of Japan who loved and admired him so much. We are all praying for Shinzo and his beautiful family. And then 6 hours ago, Trump tweeted, early this morning, really bad news for the world. Or, late last night, really. Oh, no, early this morning. Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is dead. He was assassinated, his killer captured, and hopefully will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. Few people know what a great man and leader Shinzo Abe was, but history will teach them and be kind. He was a unifier like no other, except Trump was a great unifier too, by the way. But above all, he was a man who loved and cherished his magnificent country, Japan. Shinzo Abe, A-B-E, will be greatly missed. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. There will never be another like him, President Donald J. Trump. That's what he tweeted that, but he put that actually on nice. Yeah, there's a picture of him being airlifted, or his body being airlifted. He was declared dead by the the Shinzo Abe guy. I don't know what type of guy he was. But, assassinations can spark, like, wars, world wars, They have in the past. At least that's what I heard. We'll see what happens. Shinzo Abe. Rest in peace. Terrible, huh? Crazy. An assassination in Japan. Again, I don't know anything about... They arrested like a 40-year-old guy. A Navy veteran with a homemade gun, according to Drudge. Is it true that there are barely any weapons in Japan, too? Firearms are rare over there? And it's a pretty, it's not very diverse country, right? So that's wild. China was trying to silence their celebrations because, the Chinese hate the Japanese. They're very resentful about the World War II. From what I understand, I was told by one of my Chinese friends, a guy I used to work with at my prior job, that they raped so many Chinese women when Japan invaded China. So, I don't know. I know that they had the face of the enemy, the Japanese did, here in America. And so under that communist guy, that communist president, FDR, right? Franklin Delano Roosevelt, wheelchair-bound guy. We put them in concentration camps. It wasn't called concentration camps, though. They were called internment camps. But some say that they were comparable to what happened in Germany. It's just that we had more money, so we didn't starve our internment campers, the Japanese. Germany was poorer and being blockaded, I think, and so, a lot of people were starving. So, I don't know. Violence on many sides. Very fine people on many sides, maybe. Martin says, and Americans didn't rape women in Vietnam or Korea. Yeah, who knows? Right. It's hard to say. They are a foreign country, and they're not Christian, I don't think. A homemade shotgun. They're not Christian, and, that was the way of the world back in the day. I was told by... Oh, turn on the AC, please. People think that last caller was a troll. I will get back to calls, guys. That he sounds Arab. Sounds like a male Ilhan Omar. It's funny. Might have been a troll. He was funny, though. Thank you for the AC. Not that I feel it, but I did see the lights blink a little. Homemade shotgun is just a pipe and a hammer. Whoa. Don't tell us how to do it. But anyway, I heard from former guest on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, Shubat, that Abe, was it Abe? Shinzo Abe? He purposely let ISIS behead one of their, there was this Japanese guy who got executed on a public video, propaganda execution video put out by ISIS several years back. And it was on purpose because Japan is not allowed to have a standing military or something, and so they wanted an excuse to be like, hey, ISIS is killing our people, we need a military world leaders, let us get a military. I don't know if that's true, but that was Perhaps speculation on the part of Theodore and Walid Shubat. I don't know. Japan has very strict gun laws. A lot of their Secret Service don't even have guns, per Big Bump. Gun-free zone. It's impossible. It's impossible. Anyway, is there anything else to say about this? I mentioned it in Hake News at the end of hour 1, I believe, about this guy getting assassinated at age 67. Abe changed the law to allow Japan to have an offensive army rather than purely defensive, I guess, according to Patrikios, something like that. Patlarlalrik. Okay. I don't know. Thank you over there on D Live. Shout out to Facebook and Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@ The Hake Report. Taking care of business today. Ask that caller if he will celebrate Georgia, Florida being 2 years sober. Ridiculous, huh? Silly. Super chat from Based America First over there on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Hake asks Mexican caller if he loves white people. No, but he loves their money. Appreciative American or angry opportunist? You do the math. Someone gave a super chat. Appreciate you discussing women's misperceptions of alcohol. I'm a non-drinker. Interesting. Nice. Yeah, it's not too ladylike to be getting drunk and high and smoking all those cigarettes. I get it. It's hard to get your self-control back once you let that go, but just be aware. Let me get to Jeff in Louisiana. Is on the line, wants to talk about that Alex, that prior caller. Jeff in Louisiana, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you, Hake?
Doing fine, thank you.
Man, I just want to pin him up for a second. You got to slow down some. He's having trouble catching up with Spanish to English dictionary when you ask him questions.
Perhaps so. Perhaps I should have slowed down.
And I can answer one question. You asked him the wrong question. You said, do you love white people?
Yeah.
You should have said, do you love fat white women?
Why do you say that?
Because, man, I have family members that live down in Baton Rouge, and that's all they come over and marry for a green card.
Oh, that's funny. I saw this picture of some guy who, it was shared on this, the comedian who was a comedian for the Bond Men's Conference recently. I'm blanking on his name. What's his name? But it was pretty funny. He shared a picture of this India guy from India who, like, several days before he lost his student visa expired, he found true love, and then it's this fat white woman.
Yeah.
Chauvin.
It's them that, can't get in here, so they will. But, man, a couple of things I want to share quick. Did you see yesterday, the woman that accused Emmett Till of the whistling at her?
Oh, yeah. More than just whistling at her. She accused him of more than just that. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, yesterday, a mob stormed a nursing home in North Carolina to hunt her.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I heard a clip of that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show or something like that. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because last week they found in church, they found in the basement of the courthouse where they issued a warrant for arrest back then. So now they're trying to enact that warrant. No, the lady would be 88 years old now.
Really, 88? Wow. Yeah.
88 years old.
I've covered this a couple of times in recent days and weeks and stuff. How this woman, she never had. There's no proof that she recanted or admitted she quote unquote lied. And this guy, if he's anything like his father allegedly was or was convicted of having been
executed for raping and murdering.
Yeah, Emmett Till's father, Joseph Till or something like that, was in the U.S. military, and he was hanged in like France by the U.S. military for he was like convicted, and I don't know if it was true or not, because there are many false convictions today. I don't know about back then, of raping and killing some like French women or something like that.
Well, they can't accuse racists of men since racism only exists in America, right?
Yeah.
And nowhere else in the world is racist except for America.
I know. Well, all the white countries where they're so diverse and so overly accepting of all the other races and cultures, but they're being called racist just because there is a mixing, and some of the more sensible, but perhaps sometimes angry whites are like, I don't like this. Oh, what are you, racist? Done.
Well, man, I know you got a lot of calls, so one more point I want to get to real quick.
Yeah.
I seen you run a thing on Brittany Griner this morning.
Yeah.
I kind of kept up with it just because it interests me. It's funny.
Right.
You know that the reason she pled guilty yesterday is because she has to wait until her fourth court appearance to be able to make a statement on her case, try to defend herself.
Uh-huh.
So, and they have a court appearance once per week. So it would have been in July, she got the same thing. So she pleaded guilty because they already talking to the White House about doing a prisoner swap for her for Victor Boot. I think Victor Boot.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, the Russian guy who was accused of transporting arms or something.
Yeah, the Merchant of Death. They made that movie in 2005 called World of War with Nicolas Cage. That was about him, Merchant of Death.
Okay.
But they're swapping. They're already planning to swap her for him. Yet we have many white Americans over there. We have a white dude over now. It's been there 4 years in jail. That is charged with the same things that he had a medical prescription for marijuana.
Wow.
He's still sitting over, and they not.
He's rotting. He's rotting in Russian prison right now.
Yeah, he's been there 4 years since 2018.
Wow. Yeah, I hope we get him back first. He should get priority.
If you Google it, his family went on and made a statement last night because Biden didn't mention his name, but he called Griner's lesbian wife.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't talk to them.
Right.
Well, man, I was good, man. You have a good one.
You too, Jeff. Appreciate you. Take care. What a shame. Yeah, be careful overseas. Be careful everywhere, really. Especially if you're white or a man or a Christian, you got to mind your P's and Q's. The worse and more out of control and evil the world gets, the more perfect you have to be, blameless. And even then, it's no guarantee. There were apostles who got jailed. Did you know that? Some of them were executed, sawed in half, crucified upside down. In this world, you will have trouble. But Jesus has overcome the world. And it's true. I keep on reading little headlines from Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and elsewhere. But mainly CNN, because, I love CNN. Very fake news. The airlines are understaffed. And I've seen on my other favorite outlet, very comparable, TKR Official on Telegram, that there are these pilots who are having issues. And I don't know if it's related to this particular medical procedure that they're supposed to undergo in order to be able to be approved for continuing to fly. I don't know. There is speculation about that. I don't know, though. People blame the vax. I disavow such speculation. But I really don't know. But the airlines are understaffed. How did that happen when there's so many job openings? Well, I think that it's the commie virus mandates, in part at least. And there's all kinds of just unexpected or unpredicted or perhaps predicted and quite predictable side effects to the different shutdowns and regulations that are being put back in place and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if pilots and flight attendants are on strike or not. And, some of these are kind of get on an ego trip and be like, oh, these passengers are too big for their britches. They're acting erratic and arrogant. And many of them I'm sure are, because the people just don't know how to act anymore. But same too with these people. You know, back in the good old days, it used to be stewardesses who were like attractive and young and had a good attitude. But nowadays, they're not very attractive, not very young, not very good attitude. And so it's evil versus evil among the workers and the customers. And the customer is not always right, we know that. American Airlines this week agreed to pay pilots triple their normal rate. Triple! Wow. How do you have all that money, American Airlines? After thousands of flights, I don't know across what time span, thousands of flights were left without pilots. Wow, how did that happen? Several other major airlines are offering salary increases for pilots who fly on peak days. Flight cancellations during holiday periods continue to be a regular occurrence. You know, I don't even want to travel because I have no trust that I'll be able to get back in time, you know. Like sometimes I may want to travel on the weekend. Very rarely. But, you know, every now and then I get an opportunity or an invite. And I'm like, no, I don't trust that I'll get back here for Hake in time. Because I don't like to miss Hake or JLP or even church, honestly. Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, one of my favorite things. Alongside the men's forum. Always excellent. Always cool. And of course, I'm committed to my work, you know. At least to an extent, right? Doing the Hake News, being an expert on JLP's show, doing the Hake Report, showing up for these invite debate appearances, panel appearances, interview appearances. I have never thrown up on a plane. So, what's going on in the kitchen? But I don't know what's cooking. Anyway, the world is being mismanaged, if I do say so myself. Not that I'm any kind of great manager, but I know mismanagement when I smell it, right? I think that we wouldn't be suffering so much. You know, not we, but a lot of people suffering unnecessarily. And many of them, it's their fault because they didn't support Trump, a sensible man who's for decent and competent management and allowing the people to have their freedom, allowing the businesses to operate with less restrictions and regulations. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, we are approaching the top of the hour. Before I get back to calls, hang tight, callers. It's time for some music. Shall we get to some music? It is White History Month, and I like Vollmar. Vollmar is purportedly a white man, a Christian. I may be using the term man loosely. No offense, Vollmar. Justin Vollmar. Appreciate you, man. Love your music. I do, anyway. I know it's kind of depressed sounding, but he's a Christian man, I think, even though he's a liberal, because all musicians are liberals, so I'm assuming he is a liberal. Rappers are not liberals. I mean, because rappers are not musicians. But anyway, this track is entitled Pony Man, and it's from the album OK, not to be confused with the band OK, from 2006 on Bluesanct. Enjoy, you musical Philistines. Cover your ears, press mute, grin and bear it. Go plant your garden, shovel snow, rake leaves. But for now, Pony Man by Vollmar. Here it is.
Say, Mr. Pony Man, is there consolation for a mountain teenager who doesn't know his strength? The way things go around here, it's hard to tell who's living. The way things go around here, it's hard to tell alive from dead.
So good.
I just need some help to figure out what's living and what's dead.
Detuned guitar.
Feels right.
Detuned vocals.
There's feelings I don't
No pony anything.
hard to feel. Oh, I can't feel.
Isn't this nice? All right, it's a little off-key. This makes me feel like I can sing. Shout out to Justin Vollmar. He drank all the ginger beer. Uh-oh.
Hey, Mr. Pony, is there some kind of a master plan?
Look at this beach.
I heard my dad and I heard him real bad. Need a human race.
Isn't this nice? This pony music? Repent, Hake. This is what Luca thinks his music sounds like. Nice song, says Steph K. Thank you, Steph K. My precious ears, says Agent Black. This music stinks. Only James over there in the YouTube chat, not to be confused with Hake, didn't say stinks. He said the S-U-C-K-S word. Don't say that, kids. Unless your parents let you. And in that case, question your parents. This is a no, James. Joel Friday rolling in his grave hearing this. Joel Friday, I don't think is in any grave, man, except the ego went to the grave. Because Joel Friday is born again. No, I don't know. Maybe. Shout out to Joel Friday, no longer here. He loves us and we love him. Do we not? If we love anybody, we love Joel Friday. Get on the mic one time. It's not bad, really. It's just sloppy. They could clean it up a bit, says Martin. I'd rather listen to tinnitus. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful music. A quick super chat from Based America First. Streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. The airline industry accepted a $54 billion bailout during the China virus, contingent on not reducing labor. Airlines fired workers anyway. Low staffing levels have contributed to flight cancellations. Wow. Ill-gotten gain. You know what they say about money? Easy come, easy go. I got that from Batman, the animated series. It was this attractive female cartoon character. Magician. And she made money disappear, and then she tried to bring it back, and it didn't come back. And so, she was going to get arrested, but Batman captured her. And anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but Batman, the animated series, it has my vote. But yeah, easy come, easy go. JLP has told this story before in church that he used to, and elsewhere, that he used to get into a lot of car accidents and get money out of it. And he realized that he would blow that money. And he's not even sure how this happened. It's like some spiritual thing, perhaps, or who knows. But he realized that when he got that easy money, he would lose it easily too. And so he's like, you know what? I better not keep doing this. And so he stopped getting in car accidents and stopped getting that money. Now he gets money the honest way. You know, because you can abuse it or be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if he did anything untoward. Probably not. But, yeah, don't be going for that easy money. Go for you do want to work smart and hard. There's a time to work hard and long. There's a time not to always get your perfect 8 hours, 7 hours, or 6 hours, or 5 hours, or 3 hours of sleep. There's a time for that, especially for the men, right? But also you want to have a balanced life. That's what I call it. I don't know. Don't listen to Hake. But thank you, Based America First. Yeah, those airlines, I call them commie capitalist corporations because they're not for what's right. They're not necessarily for America. They support all kinds of mess. just like the banks and many other industries, Google, which is evil, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, which is part of Google, which is part of Alphabet. It's a mess. So don't fall for that. Don't fall for this commie capitalism. It's a whole lot of corruption in the world. And you can work for them, but be a light. Don't be corrupted by the world. That's true religion, is not being polluted by the world. Along with, looking out for orphans and widows in their distress. But not like these fake poor people that people are called poor, who are merely experiencing mild inconveniences even though they're spoiled. But they're below the poverty line. The help is what's keeping them there and hurting them. Taking away the little fire under them that could make them great. Anyway, let me get to Keith in Illinois on the line. How are you doing, Keith?
All right, Hake, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I had, called because I'm in a, the radio station, they play for, the urban blacks, the radio station I'm talking about.
Oh.
And I heard, and this guy comes on every hour, talking about the January 6th. Every hour. I mean, you can tell that it's, a DNC radio station. I mean, they're in the black neighborhood, so that's who they, they always take over the black neighborhood, the black radio station, the DNC.
Speak up for me and stay close to your phone, Keith, so that you come through as clearly as possible. Go ahead.
Okay. And this lady said that the January 6th riot, she called them riots, okay. They showed up with AK-47. Swore, that's what she said. Swore and brass knuckles. See, they know the blacks not going to do any investigation to see if it's a lie.
Yeah.
AK-47, she said they showed up with.
That's pretty funny.
It's like, they know they can lie, so they know the blacks not going to investigate them. They're just going to believe whatever they hear on the radio station or, any black network. If this is a BET or TV One, they're not going to question anything.
Right.
You hear that? AK-47. I'm like, okay, AK-47. But they know they can get away with it. I mean, that's how and it comes on every hour. Every hour they say something about January 6th.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know that this new movie come out. Every time blacks thinking about getting off the plantation, every time there's a movie coming out now. I think her name is Viola Davis. She's a black actress.
Oh, yeah.
She's some kind of, and of course they cater to the women. You can't have no black male, heroes anymore. Well, she's supposed to be in Africa somewhere, and come to white people, and she's got to defend, this nation against the. I mean, every time, we got elections coming up in 4 or 5 months. The liberal Sony, which is owned by Japan, which is part of Chinese now, they come out with these movies about some kind of slavery or some kind of something. You know what I mean? They pour it on, just like during the 2020 election. They poured it on to every, movie, sitcom. I mean, they pour it on, and the blacks just eat it up.
Is that the one that's called, like, The Woman King or something like that?
Yeah.
I think I saw the previews for that on TKR official Telegram. And it's basically a bunch of, how Asmodor described it, ugly black females slaughtering white male colonialists, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ridiculous.
So, every time we get close to the election, or every time they feel like the blacks are leaving the plantation, they always show these movies, and then, we don't have a lot of sitcoms and a lot of, CBS, NBC, ABC, all I'm going to show this 24/7. Every time they feel like blacks leaving the plantation, every time, they think of blacks getting smart, they hate the inflation, they hate the gas prices, they just pull them right back in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they know that these people are never going to wake up. They're just going to stay in their hell. and just be angry and and just deal with it based on an emotional movie or sitcom. They know they got them on a plantation. They turn it up, to a degree that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they just promote just blatant anti-white, anti-man, anti-Christian hatred. It's ridiculous.
Yes, anti-God, anti-man, America. They turn it up to a level that's unbelievable. Actually,
right.
But you got the actresses and the actors, you got the money, you got the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at all this crime across the United States, right?
Yeah.
And nobody ever says, that 95% of us, blacks just, commit these crimes, all these robberies, murders, rapes. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. They just say crime. They don't never pinpoint it.
Yeah.
They never pinpoint it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just ridiculous. And every time they get ready to start thinking they can get off the plantation, they know how to pull them right back in.
I know.
It's just amazing. I just had to say that. I know you saw the one about the movie.
Right.
But the lady actually said they had AK-47
at January 6th. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Hake, man. You have a good weekend.
Thank you, Keith. Take care, and happy White History Month to you.
All right. Same to you, bud.
All right. Bye. Wow. Before I get back to callers, hang tight, callers. I will get to you. I wanted to cover this yesterday, but I didn't get to it. There was this black female victim, underage sexual assault victim, child sex abuse victim, Chrystul Kizer, or Kizer, Chrystul. Those blacks, they have creative spellings for their name. Kizer. Looks like a young girl. I don't know if she's a grown woman or still a underage minor. But in a landmark ruling, this young lady, young female, black female, can argue in court that she's immune from prosecution, which sounds ridiculous to me. Because back in 2018, Chrystul Kizer, Kizer, butchering perhaps the pronunciation, who is black, drove to her alleged sex abuser's house, shot him in the head, set his house on fire, and took off in his car. Sounds like at least 3 felonies to me. Maybe 4? Home invasion, perhaps. Murder. Premeditated murder, by the way. And who knows if it was a properly owned gun. Arson, which puts his neighbors at risk, if he has nearby neighbors. And Grand Theft Auto or something like that. Sounds like 4 felonies. And they can't charge her with anything? Is that what they're trying to say? Prosecutors acknowledged that she was indeed, allegedly, sexually abused by the white 33-year-old alleged sex trafficker, right? And I wonder what type of white this was. But anyway, they still charged her with arson and first-degree intentional homicide, which carries a mandatory life sentence. But yesterday, Wisconsin's so-called Supreme Court said, hold on a minute. Yesterday being 2 days ago, I guess, right? Because this was covered by the Skim yesterday. And so when they say yesterday, it was 2 days ago. Wisconsin's so-called Supreme Court said, hold on a minute. State law allows alleged trafficking victims to defend themselves. Well, this doesn't sound like self-defense. I don't know. Doesn't sound like self-defense. Over alleged crimes committed as a direct result of the alleged trafficking. Yesterday, the court said she can defend herself on those grounds. So now she has to convince a judge and jury that was what it was. Doesn't sound like self-defense to me. Mina says she was a prostitute. Yeah, I know. It's like these young people. I don't know how old she was at the time or whatever. Her parents, runaways, some of these females, like one of the Epstein accusers was a runaway working as a towel girl at one of Trump's places. And then she was picked up or recruited by Epstein or Epstein's Ghislaine Maxwell. not to be confused with Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, it's the same thing. But anyway, more than 30 states have legal protections for alleged sex trafficking victims. Protection reportedly often applies to alleged prostitution charges. Wow, they're making victims out of prostitutes when they're doing illegal prostitution, but they're being, oh, you're a victim. Making the woman always a victim, huh? They're not always a victim, even when they're underage, by the way. I say. You're still responsible for, you still know what you're doing. Some of these minors are very corrupt people. There are many minors who commit murders, male minors, who commit murders and things like that. And they're not cast as victims. But the prostitutes, oh, they're victims. I don't know. It doesn't cover homicide, those protections. But some state laws keep it broad. Many could take cues from this case and expand protections or restrict them. To me, I don't know about her particular case, but I know that in general, they cast the female, very much non-victims as victims. And the last thing females need to have is a victim mindset. If you're cast as a victim, you're not held responsible for what you do wrong. And we need to, even the ones who are victims, we need to victim blame. There's this, this not Christian psychology push since decades back saying, we need to not do victim blaming. You hear it on CNN and other people. Former Fox News ladies go over to CNN and talk about, or MSNBC, and speak against victim blaming. You need to victim blame. Because if you don't victim blame, then the victims never learn. Or the future potential victims never learn to protect themselves and not go to places or put themselves in situations that are not good for them. There was this clip, I think it might have been put out by us over on the Bond YouTube channel. There was this segment, nonetheless, on a Bond Archive Sunday service in which that black female tennis player, Venus Williams, maybe it was Serena Williams, but I think it was her sister, Venus Williams. Maybe it was Serena, who, a decade ago or so, maybe 2013, she spoke against getting that drunk and putting yourself in a situation where you could be allegedly raped, because there was this girl who was allegedly raped, getting sloppy drunk. She's like, don't put yourself in that situation. And then she apologized, of course, because she is a kind of a useful idiot, not very strong in spirit. So she'll back down from saying something sensible. But that is a good advice. Don't put yourself in that situation that you can be taken advantage of, because the world is evil, including even some males. Most males. Evil. Most males and all females. It's a fact. Look it up. Otherwise, you don't be wise. You're not being wise. So it's a landmark 4-3 ruling. Wisconsin Supreme Court upheld the decision that this she's 22 years old now. And that was 4 years ago. So she was like 18, 17. She's immune from prosecution for committing home invasion, murder, arson, and vehicle theft. Oh, she was 16. Anyway. Anything else? What a shame, though. The killing was planned, and first-degree intentional homicide carries a mandatory life sentence. Women are not victims. And when they are victims, they are not innocent victims. Even the minors, okay? It's a fact. How you doing, Facebook crew? Ashley, Lisa, shout out, ladies. my 2 female viewers. No, I'm kidding. Let's get to Boomer Bob in Chicago, Illinois. Chi-Town. How you doing, Boomer Bob?
Good. Hold on, let me get off of speakerphone.
What? All right.
Without disconnecting you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to offer you know how when we say racism doesn't exist, it goes against the grain of almost anybody.
Well, it never really rang true to me. When I was a kid, it never really rang true to me. I couldn't relate to it because nobody, all the so-called racist whites and all the so-called racist blacks have they have their favorite whites or favorite blacks or whatever. People it's not as though they love one another. So nobody judges purely on skin color or race or whatever. It's based on how people act or how you've been trained to believe about people.
Well, actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, when I first heard it, I thought, that's not true. It's got to exist. But if you think about it, I would say not only is it true that racism doesn't exist, but collective behaviorism does exist.
What's that mean?
And like you said, people aren't reacting to skin color. That's ridiculous.
Right.
They're reacting to behaviorisms.
Right.
You know, let's say you live in a neighborhood where only one in 100,000 gets killed, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, that's horrible and blah, blah, blah. But now all of a sudden, if your neighborhood is 3 or 4 per 100,000, without even trying, you're going to have issues. You're going to, you're going to start getting jittery or concerned, right?
Yep.
So, again, it's not, like you said, and that maybe you can do a better job in identifying that right off the cuff, saying it's not skin color, it's the collective behaviors that people note and react to. So, actually, I'm in agreement with you. It's just that sometimes we get sidetracked with the conversation and get driven elsewhere.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to comment on is the Chauvin thing.
Oh, Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, and a lot of people are, I think. One thing that has not been done, and I wish they would have done this in court, and I have done this to a girlfriend, I reenacted the event of the knee on the neck next to a car. It wasn't, okay, and if you used Chauvin's body positioning and leveraging, where most of the weight was on the back foot, not on the neck foot, it really, there was no murderous pressure. There was nothing really alarming about that.
Yeah.
I wish they would have reenacted that in court. And I suggest that maybe one day on Jesse Lee Peterson's show, you can reenact it where you perform that on Jesse just to show that was not a killing act.
Yeah, one thing I didn't mention, it's ridiculous that the prosecutors said that he had, what did they say? Malicious intent, cold-blooded. He did it in cold blood or whatever.
He woke up that morning, I'm sure, wanting to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, give me a break.
Anyway, again, if you reenact this on somebody using the same body positioning, the head next to a tire by a car, and then putting your hand in your pocket, which he had most of the time, there was no deadly force at all.
I know they're trying to read racism and malice into his face as though he was like enjoying this as the guy was like dying. The guy was overdosing clearly. And yeah, maybe the pressure on his body had restricted his breathing a little, and that didn't help. But that's his own dumb fault for being claustrophobic as a out of his mind overdosing so-called false victim.
Yeah, I would kind of disagree with you that it was limiting his air passage or whatever. But
I'm just saying it's possible. I don't.
Right.
I don't care because it's not a homicide. It's not you could say, it contributed maybe, but it's not a murder. It's a murder. It was convicted of murder in court with an asterisk because it's not a fair justice system that we have right now.
But I just encourage everybody out there that's questioning this, get that screenshot photo of him or whatever, the video of him.
The whole 9 minutes.
Body position, and you're going to find out that it was not anything what they're saying.
Yeah. It's just that we have a politicized, anti-white, anti-man, anti-authority world where we make victims out of perpetrators.
Yeah.
And people who...
What kind of recourse do you think Chauvin has at this point? I think he's appealing something or another, right?
He is appealing, but he just got sentenced in federal court, which further complicates his position. As Ador
like
pointed
you said,
out,
we got to pray for this guy that he doesn't go bonkers crazy, or somebody else doesn't go crazy on him. Right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I totally wish the guy well.
My main point was racism does not exist.
Yeah.
But behaviorism does exist.
You're talking about how, like, a lot of blacks have gotten. We have this phenomenon of black crime, black attitude, black false victimhood, black anger, and so then people so-called racially profile them, and it's called risk assessment.
There you go.
Yeah. It's true.
Anyways, those are the only points I wanted to make. I love your show, your program.
Well, thank you, Boomer Bob. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we can do a better job in defining, in the heat of the moment, you're getting better with all these debates.
Oh, nice.
But it's easy to get sidetracked and then go off course and just double down on words. Right?
Yeah.
But, behaviorism is a thing, racism is not. Okay, all right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, happy White History Month, Boomer Bob. Take care.
Yeah, you too, bye.
All right. Before I get to my favorite caller, yes, my favorite caller is on the line. I have to tell you about food. Did you hear? The far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. Yes, in addition to CNN, Commie Nonsense Network, I read the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. Reported yesterday, Grubhub is teaming up with Amazon, far-left enemies of America, Amazon, to offer Prime members 1 year of free Grubhub Plus membership. Use your Prime account to sign up for Grubhub Plus, and the company will send free deliveries for a year. Free deliveries, but the markup is so expensive, you end up paying through the nose anyway, right? But anyway, the fees and stuff. The news came as Amazon agreed to take a stake in Grubhub over the next few years. And speaking of that, I learned that hangry is real. I've never used this term, hangry, but the far-left females at The Skim and the extreme left, anti-UK, anti-American, anti-white, The Guardian. Not that has anything to do with their anti-whiteness and anti-truthness, has nothing to do with this article in particular, but they found out that hangry is a real thing as psychologists find a link between hunger and emotions. Duh. Hunger was associated with stronger feelings of anger and irritability and lower levels of pleasure in research. Maybe that's a good thing. It's an article by Ian Sample, a science writer. And there was a similar article back in 2014. Hangry, is it a stupid made-up word for being hungry and angry at the same time? Science, The Guardian. No, it's a real thing. A scientific study has found that people have difficulty regulating their temperament when their blood sugar level drops. And that married couples are more likely to argue when they're peckish. Peckish? What's that word? Anybody know what peckish means? Any British brothers or British foreigners? Peckish means hungry, says Nick. Nick is British because he's Canadian. Not as hungry, it's peckish. That's different from starving or famished. Is that for water or is that for food when you're famished? I don't know. That's a study published. There's a study back in 2014, I guess, but there's another study in 2022. Hangry in the Field, an experience sampling study on the impact of hunger on anger and irritability and affect from PLOS One. The authors are Viren Swamy. I have a couple of these pictures of these people. I don't know what the point is of showing the pictures, but I have a couple of pictures of these people. Incidentally, none of the women, or there's one woman on this study. Viren Swamy is a male, I think. And Samantha Stuger. There's Viren Swamy. He doesn't look too hungry. He's not too fat, but not too hungry. 4 eyes. And Samantha Stuger. You know, with the 2 dots? Famished is starved, James. And she's not pictured. Eric Cargill with a K. And Stefan Steger. And I only have a couple of the pictures. And I don't know. There he is. He doesn't look too hangry either. He doesn't look too hungry either. Not too fat, but not too hungry. Maybe this is why the blacks are so angry. Because they're hangry. They live in food deserts. And it's not as though they're underfed, they're overfed, but when you don't have your proper vitamins and minerals and things like that, then you feel hungry even though you're stuffed. You notice that? Like I noticed when I was eating a lot of McDonald's, the breakfast and stuff like that, and Rockstar. Well, the Rockstars and stuff, those have vitamins, I think. But they're not that good for you. They have taurine, and too much caffeine is not good for you. It's a drug, I confess. I do get organic Rockstar. It has, that proper sugar, something like that. Cane sugar, yeah. But even that is too sugary, and it's like probably more caffeine than you're supposed to have. But anyway, I did notice that when I wasn't eating my veggies, I did feel like more hungry and less. I would feel sleepy after eating rather than energized after eating. Organic Rockstar, yeah, that's an oxymoron. But it's successful marketing on me. Oh my gosh, it works. Yeah, bread, not good for you. Bread is okay, but if you're going to working in the field, if a horse eats bread, I heard it gets lethargic. I heard it from a wise man. Carbohydrates. Okay, I've been brainwashed by the people against carbs. It's true. Lord Bibby 42 drinks the orange Rockstar. Is that the one with a little bit like 3% juice? It's supposed to rehydrate you, or the lemon one. Yeah, I do try to go for the healthier ones. I was drinking the. This is so bad. Sorry, don't do as I say, kids. I was drinking the blue cotton candy one that has like 300 something. Whatever's of what's that stuff that makes you buzz and makes your heart beat fast? It's not good. Milligrams of caffeine. And I would drink it across 2 days oftentimes because I knew that it wasn't that good for me. In fact, it's probably really bad for me. Maybe it's why my hair got thinner. And plus not sleeping, Not exercising, not getting sunshine. But I did notice that it's best to eat healthfully, and you have more energy and stuff like that. It's true. And get a little exercise, go to bed on time. Early to bed and early to rise. I covered that earlier this week, I think. I did notice that my heart would beat like kind of fast and I'd be kind of fluttery. Red Bulls killed Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Oh yeah, here's a Rockstar. The third one from the left is the cotton candy. Isn't that just makes you want to buy it? just the blue, attractive blue color. Reminds me of my high school colors, blue, black, and white. That's what I was when I got beat up. I got blue, black, and white. No, I'm kidding. I never got beat up, guys. 300 milligrams of caffeine. I got shamed by one of our former board operators in JLP, and so like I stopped buying those, at least for now. My gosh, it is a little bit tempting. Oh my gosh, goodness. Okay. Let's talk to somebody sensible who knows about health. My favorite caller, Maze in Dayton, Ohio. How are you doing, Maze?
Hello, James.
Hey.
You should have known, being bright, that you know Red Bulls are not good for you.
Yeah, I don't really drink a lot of Red Bull. I never did.
You used to.
Because
y'all love them.
Those are too small. Like the Red Bulls are too small. I want like a big thing. Feel like I'm getting more for my money.
Sure. But you say broke down more than anybody.
Say again?
You stay broke down more than anybody.
I know. Oh yeah, she's making fun of me for getting sick all the time, broken down.
No, you say we are funny. You're funny when it comes to your health. You don't even know nothing. Know how to control it or what to do with it. But anyway, that's not what I call.
Haven't I gotten better though? I've gotten better.
That's what everything we always hear. It's going to get better. It's not perfect, but it's going to get better. That's what we've been hearing all our life.
Yeah.
But anyway, get into why I called.
Okay.
The guy that was thinking about January 6th. Now, he's bright.
Bright.
He worried about January 6th.
Just for the people who are new, she says bright, which sounds like a compliment, meaning that he's bright intellect. But by bright, she actually means the opposite of bright, meaning dumb.
Yeah, that Tommy Sotomayor follower, the one that called you, not the one that was saying it's not about the color, it's about
Keith.
the behavior.
Talking about Keith in Illinois?
Yes. No, not Keith in Illinois. The one that was talking about January 6th.
I think that was Keith who mentioned
if it was him,
he mentioned that some black woman on a radio show said that the whites had AK-47s at January 6th, mostly peaceful Capitol protest, Patriotic Day.
Well, yeah, him worried about that. That's our least worry. He need to go worry about something else, because if January 6th, if you think and you use your brain, you sit down and you listen to what they're telling you and what you heard from gossip and what the people are telling you to see if who's all involved. Because if somebody was involved, do you think they need to go to jail? Or do you think they need to keep walking around the street and doing it again?
Somebody who's involved in what?
And what happened in January 6th, or whoever planned it.
Depends on what they did. If they did something wrong, then I guess they can pay or get leniency. But if they did nothing wrong, most of the people January 6th did nothing wrong.
Do they supposed to investigate it, or they just supposed to just let it slide and not talk about it?
It's been overly investigated. It's being propagandized, really, honestly.
Somebody tell me why. Why has it been overly?
Oh, because the people hate Trump, and so they hate all Trump supporters. They hate Americans.
Really?
Yeah, the establishment.
You're
not aware that people hate Trump?
Excuse me? You hated Obama? So what does that got to do with it? Just because you hate something don't mean that you got to, and they doing wrong, you got to protect them because they did something wrong? Is that what you're trying to say?
You're not even making any sense. Are you not aware that people hate Trump? Are you not aware that the establishment hates Trump?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't hate people for that.
No, but are you not aware that the establishment hates Trump?
What establishment?
The committee, the January 6th committee. Let's start with them.
I'm saying those people.
Are you not aware that the January 6th committee hates Trump? Just answer that question.
Why do you hate Liz Cheney? Because she's on that committee?
No, answer my question, Mace.
No, they don't hate him.
They don't hate Trump? Now you're lying.
To see if he committed a crime.
Mace, come on. Be serious. You don't know.
You hated Obama.
No. We can do this whataboutism.
And you still hate him. I ain't saying no what about it. I'm saying.
Yeah, you did. You said you changed the subject. We're talking about people who hate Trump, going after Trump.
No, Trump hates
in the
himself.
government.
I don't have to say nothing about people hating. He hates himself.
Trump does. I don't know about that. How about the January 6th committee? Can you be honest about? Can you be honest? Be honest about the January 6th committee. They hate Trump, right? It's a leading question.
I don't know if they hate him or not. I think they're trying to investigate to see if he did what he did.
You don't know?
He didn't do it. No. Because every time he do something, he always taking it to court to make sure that he don't get caught. That was even before he made it to the White House.
Huh?
So that's the way I see it. If you bright and you want to believe what people are telling you, and not what you knew before he stepped in the office.
You're not bright. You're not very bright, Mace.
Giuliani. It's just like Giuliani.
You're not being very bright.
All of those. What?
You're not being very bright.
Oh, I'm not bright anyway. I've never been bright. I've been smart.
You're not very smart either. If you're,
as I was saying,
I think you're pretending. I think you're pretending not to know that the January 6th committee
I'm gonna tell you something that was
hates
smart
Trump.
that the guy said.
Hey, Mace.
It's not about skin.
Mace.
Can I finish?
No, you can't finish because I'm talking to you.
Okay, go
You're
ahead.
not being very smart if you actually believe that the January 6th committee simply wants to investigate what went wrong with January 6th. You're not being very bright or honest.
I'm being bright because I want to know who planned all of them for the ones that did go in there and do it. They used to not all of them, but somebody went in there and did something. So somebody needs to investigate it, don't they?
No, they don't need to investigate. The investigation is over.
Okay, they just need to get investigating. Just got started. But now, can I get to the point that I was saying?
Okay.
The president was smart when he said it's not about skin color. It's about behavior.
Who said that?
So you got the same behavior as the PWCs got the same behavior as a black person. But they just don't want to admit it. You come to your media every day and you see it on TV, all they showing is people of color.
PWCs?
Oh, yeah. That's right, PWC.
What's PWC?
Caucasian white people.
No, that's CWP.
That's what I said.
No, you said PWCs. It's CWP. You got it backwards.
Well, whichever one I said.
Okay.
I said PWP.
What?
It can be person or people. The P at the end can be person or people.
I know,
so,
but you said PWCs. You said the C at the end.
Yeah.
Person white Caucasian?
Yeah. I said CWP.
Okay. You didn't say
That's
that.
what I said.
You said it last time you called.
And I said the P can be person or people.
Right. Okay, whatever.
Now, you finished?
Patriotic white Christians?
What? Well, ain't no Christian.
Patriotic white Christians.
They live in the name. There's no Christian.
Yeah, they are.
If you talk about what Christians did to Christ, they would be ashamed to say they're Christian.
Christians.
And I always say, well,
what did Christians do to Christ?
God is not going to bless none of you.
What did Christians do to Christ? Okay, go ahead.
What? Well, you say who killed him?
The Romans. The Romans. They were not Christian.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
And then the Jews wanted him killed.
That's not why I called you either. And then I heard again about this lady that I was telling you was still alive, and you say she was dead. When it came to Emmett Till, and she admitted that she did what she did.
She never admitted anything. You're lying.
Yes, she did.
You don't know.
And so anyway,
there's no proof. Show me the recording. Show me the recording.
They went through the.
Show me the recording.
So you want to just sit there and be a clown?
No, you're being a clown. You're believing a lie that she admitted that she lied, and she never admitted she lied. There's no proof that she lied.
The paper that they found.
The woman who. Hold on, I'm gonna just clarify the record. Maze is on hold. Isn't this nice? Listen to that. Peace and quiet. Okay, Maze is on hold. The woman who allegedly accused Emmett Till of, quote unquote, whistling at her, also allegedly accused him of grabbing her around the waist, saying something vulgar about having sex with white women and using obscenities. And by the way, his father was hanged by the U.S. Army and overseas for raping and killing white women in France or something like that. And Emmett Till may have been like father, like son, don't know. Maybe it was a lying white woman, but she never had, there's no proof that she admitted that she lied. It was just this activist journalist who interviewed her, who claimed that she admitted that she had made it up or something like that, or recanted, when she never, there's no recording of it. He did record her, but she didn't record that part of it. And he supposedly wrote down that she said, oh, it's so long ago, I don't remember, something like that. But that's not there's no proof that she recanted. But the blacks and the mainstream media pretend that he just whistled at her when he did more than that, allegedly, and that she recanted when there's no proof that she recanted. So Maze is repeating a lie. You're repeating a lie, Maze.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
That they had that they never served her with.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do. So what's wrong with that? And it hadn't been no 80 years since the president said it's been 80 years ago. That was a lie.
Roughly.
Then,
I mean, you're one to talk about lies, Maze.
I'm gonna tell you about the 101-year-old man.
It was something like 60 years ago.
They came and got him and did what they needed to do with him for being a part of the Holocaust. So if she was a part of something that was not right.
That's not right either. I'm not right for going after
you protecting
old
that?
Nazis for alleged
He was 101. He wasn't too old.
Yes, he is too old.
Like
That's ridiculous.
You said father like son, so y'all just like y'all grandfathers. Want to go back to statehood. That's y'all problem?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We should go back to statehood. We should go back to statehood.
The same thing you don't do. You want to go back to statehood.
This is all about malicious.
That's what it's going in that
Mace, you have to be quiet while I'm talking because we have to have a conversation. Otherwise, nobody can understand what people are saying. This is about malicious, vengeful blacks and anti-white, supposed whites, who are going after a woman who may not have even lied, who did not want that anything evil to happen to Emmett Till, according to her, and they're pretending that they should go serve this warrant when there's a reason that they didn't serve that warrant way back when. But now they want to serve this warrant now, as if we're more just today. We're less just today than we were back then, I say.
Why were they hiding it?
Why were they hiding it? Because they didn't want to go serve the warrant.
Well, if they didn't want to go serve, why did they have one?
I don't know, and I don't even buy the story. You're just why are you holding on to this story, Mace?
I'm not holding on to it.
Yes, you are. You're holding on to it. You're repeating that she lied when you have no idea.
Something that I heard this morning say it was 80 years ago. It was not 80 years ago.
So what? It was decades ago.
Just like you want to forget about January 6th. You don't want them to do no investigation to see who planned that and how it was planned and all of the places that they went.
They're not doing an honest investigation, Maze. You're being ridiculous.
What would make it honest then if they're not doing an honest investigation?
An honest investigation would be conducted by Trump supporters, not by these people.
Really?
Yeah.
Trump the ones that they're talking to are people that work with Trump. They're not talking to nobody else.
They're working on turncoats. They're talking to turncoats. Disloyal females and female-minded males.
For her life when she's
Maze, one at a time. When I'm talking, you stop, okay? They're not talking to Trump supporters. There are anti-Trump people on that committee who hate Trump. They're Democrats and 2 anti-Trump rhinos. And they're not honest people. We all know that. They hate Trump. They've expressed hatred for Trump. They've lied against Trump. And then they're talking to turncoats. And they're talking to Cassidy Hutchinson, who is a dishonest woman. They're not talking to honest people. They would have Trump supporters on the committee if they were about honesty. Mm-hmm. But no.
Mm-hmm.
Maze, you don't care about the truth.
No, James.
60 years ago, Maze. Maze.
Let me tell you what
Maze.
Can I get my point out?
Maze. 60 years ago, 1955.
That's not 80.
It doesn't matter. It was so exaggerated. Give me a break.
Yeah,
60 years ago, you're going to charge a woman?
Tell the truth. But I'm asking
you don't care about the truth?
That means just because they don't have, what do you call them? What do you call Liz Cheney?
A rhino, an anti-Trump rhino, and a warmonger.
So that means her life was in danger at that time. She's supposed to just go around and keep her lips closed and act like it didn't happen.
There's no evidence that her life was in danger. You're being ridiculous.
Well, all of them life was in danger.
You don't care about people's lives.
They wanted to hang Mike Pence and do something to Nancy.
Hang Mike Pence. Ooh, big wow.
And they wanted to do something to Nancy. So why wouldn't people live in danger? That's threatening people inside the Capitol.
Maze, you're being silly.
People need to know what really happened. Like
you're not going to find out, Maze.
Mm-hmm.
We all know, and you know this too, that we're not going to find out what really happened from this phony January 6th committee. So Lord Bibby 42 has a super chat for you. Hake, can you ask Maze, when she looks in a mirror, does the mirror crack?
No, ask him do it crack when he look in it. He don't look in the mirror. Do he have a mirror? That's his problem. He don't have no reflection of nothing he do.
Whatever. It's back at you. You don't.
He have a reflection.
Do you
That's
self-reflect?
What's wrong with the mirror? You want to reflect on other people and not look at you in the mirror.
Do you look at you?
Look at you in the mirror. As the guy say, it's not about color. It's about what.
Do you look at you?
Shoot, all the time. That's why I love myself.
Then why do you care about Emmett Till? Why are you suckered into caring about Emmett Till?
And I don't hate people because somebody else wanted me to hate people.
Do you care about Emmett Till?
Do I care about who?
Emmett Till.
Yes, I cared about him. And I cared about the way the people
were you alive?
And beat him up and all of that. What you say?
Were you alive?
Do you have to be alive to see things?
Were you alive? Answer the question.
Yes, I was alive. What did I got to do?
And why do you care about Emmett Till?
Because just like a whole lot of people that went in the Mississippi River that were thrown in there, That's why I cared about them too. Nothing would happen. You know, people commit crimes like Rittenhouse. That's his name. They shot them 2 people. Nothing happened to him.
You think that was a crime?
When you got what?
You think self-defense is a crime?
I think he should have went to jail.
Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse, killing 2 Antifa attackers.
You see what we looking at?
Maze, I put you on hold because you won't shut up. Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse, killing 2 Antifa attackers who were attacking him in self-defense, trying to take his gun, and shooting another guy who had a gun pointed at him. And Maze thinks he should go to jail. Maze, you're just a sucker for the mainstream media. How are you such a sucker and you listen to JLP and Hake?
And I was saying, just like all of these people with these beaters going around shooting people, and that's not bothering them. They don't get no treatment. They just get picked up and put in the car and took to jail.
Answer my question. Why are you such a sucker for the mainstream media when you listen to JLP and Hake?
I'm not a sucker for the mainstream. I'm a sucker for losing my brain. I don't need the media to tell me what to do.
Okay,
well, Fox over there,
I encourage you, Maze, I encourage you, Maze,
what?
I encourage you not to be such a sucker for using your brain.
I encourage you to stop hating Liz Cheney. That's what I encourage you to do.
Okay.
But she didn't do nothing to you.
Thank you.
She was doing what she was sent there to do.
No,
and tell the
and
one
to
that
be
was
evil.
About this,
she was sent there to be evil.
About black movies coming on TV. You got all kind of movies on TV. You can change the channel what you want to see.
Maze.
What?
You jump around too fast.
No, I was talking about the time
you need to use less brain, Maze. Less brain power.
I use my brain all the time. That's y'all problem. Y'all don't use your brain. And you're not
you need to use less brain power.
I know you commit crime. I know my people commit crime, but I'm not walking around here trying to talk about one group of people and mine is doing the same thing.
But you need to use less brain power, Maze.
Got your media showing there's only one group of people, that's what you look at. Hispanics. Everybody except yourself. Tell him to take a look in the mirror and see what harm they are causing to this country.
It's silly, but you're on the side of the side of people who do harm to the country. It's ridiculous.
Keep everything amongst themselves. What you say?
I said you're on the side of people who commit harm to this country.
I'm not on the side with criminals.
Yeah,
I don't never want to go to jail.
Yeah, you are.
I don't commit crime.
You're on the side of Liz Cheney.
What? Liz Cheney committed a crime. Y'all want her to go to jail.
You don't know that.
What did she do?
You don't know that.
What law did she break?
I don't know, but you're on the side of her.
All right, you don't know. You're being right. And then other people think for you.
Maze.
You're supposed to be behind your
You
ass.
need to think less.
And you'll be a better person.
You're being silly.
So you have a good one, James.
All right, thank you.
And tell those that are not looking in the mirror at themselves about cracking it, be a reflection of what you really are and leave people alone that's not bothering you. Have a good one.
All right, bye. Terrible. Oh, I have some super chats, guys. I owe you that I read these super chats. Brandon M said, organic Rockstar is that like organic meth? Probably, yeah. It's legal meth. Hake, I stopped. It's from the earth. It's from the bulls. Don't say that. I disavow. Azador with a super chat on Odyssey, Odyssee, says, if it was an honest investigation, they would release all the video footage, 1,400 hours or however many, 10,000 hours, something like that, and answer how many federal undercover assets were on the scene. Yeah, that would be an honest investigation. Nobody wanted to hang Mike Pence. They just wanted to do a little tar and feather gag. Tarring and feathering, the good old days. That was rough times, man. That's too manly for me. Too manly. Kind of like the police work. We see it and our tender hearts think, oh. Some people survived tarring and feathering, by the way. Some people, I think, did not. But we're like, oh, this is too manly for me. You know, the lay person can't handle men's work, right? And that's what cops do, is men's work. And it's just too manly for many of us. Perhaps myself included. Remember, I was shuddering at the sight of the knee on the neck. I'm like, oh, he is human, bro. Some of the blacks were saying. I'm like sympathizing with it. Yes, Hake too can be a soft-hearted sucker. Azador also says, if us whites were as evil and vengeful as Maze says, she would be saying for everybody to forget about Emmett Till instead of victimizing his victim again. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. We would be forming like lynch mobs like crazy. And lynch mobs were very often just men looking after their town. And yeah, it wasn't it wasn't necessarily a due process. It was extrajudicial killings, right? Let me show this. I don't know. Can I show this? Asmodor has a super chat. I'm dragging the screenshot into the folder. Let's see if it copies. This is the answer to Maze's white people do it too. White people do it too. It might be a little racist looking, but interracial violent crime incidents 2018. Black on white, 547,948 white victims, purported white victims. Some of them might have been white Hispanics, who knows? I don't know. White victims of black violence, 547,948. It's a little bar graph, right? Black on Hispanic, 112,365. Here it is. The white on black, 59,778, like a tenth, like almost a tenth of the black on white. And these are just raw numbers of victims, purported victims, right? White on Hispanic, 207,000. Hispanic on white, 365,000. Hispanic on black, 44,000. So, yeah, there's a reason that Hispanics do hate blacks, because black on Hispanic is more even than the Hispanic on black. Although Hispanics were targeting blacks at random, and maybe to this day. But the black on Hispanic is even more. You know, I used to think that Hispanics were as violent as blacks. No, I just really had no idea how violent the blacks were per capita, you know? Because I grew up in a more Hispanic area. I'm like, ooh, Hispanics area is scary. Well, not compared to the black areas. It's just a fact, guys. Anyway, this has been the Hake Report, guys. William in California wanted to share a White History Month thing. Henry Ford. Call me next week, man, if you can. Jeremiah in Louisiana asked, why not practice what you preach? Might be good advice, I don't know. But call me next week, guys. Hope to see you later on the Modern Day Debate. TheHakeReport.com/appearances. Nick's stream, I believe, will be tomorrow. Church on Sunday, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, RebuildingTheMan.com/church. Subscribe to Bond Rebuilding the Man YouTube channel. No Fallen State today, but do subscribe to The Fallen State. Thanks, and take care.